Did the Blackhawks... Did we just score 4 power play goals in a single game? Yeah.
Woohoo! Is this the we are in it so weak? Yeah, can't get any better.
Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. We just played game 42. I'm sorry, but I'm still in shock here. We just scored 4 power play goals in a single game. We did. The Blackhawks did. Like, if that doesn't get the Senators coach fired, I don't know what does. These last couple days just been bonkers. This is weird. I haven't been able to wrap my head around it. First, we send Franzen to waivers. He clears somehow. Then we send Hayden down and call up Yurko, which I don't actually mind this move. I think Hayden, especially being a rookie, and we've done this with Schmaltz and Hartman before, Hayden can be a much better player than just a fourth-line hitting role player. We expect him to be, so we shouldn't inhibit his development just to put him in that role. So sending him down to Rockford, letting him develop some scoring touch, give him some first-line minutes, I think will do him well. And plus, we have a plethora of guys who can slot in to a fourth-line checking role. I don't think that's really going to be a problem. Call up Gustafsson. We'll see if he gets any playing time. Then healthy scratch for Seabrook in this one. That's the first time in his career he's a healthy scratch. You got to think perhaps there might be a move coming in on the near future, and I don't think it's going to involve Seabrook at all. I think it's going to involve one of our other defensemen. And so scratching Seabrook, getting the others some playing time to kind of showcase them a little bit to other GMs, I think is part of it. I think also just kind of keeping Seabrook motivated is another thing too. He's been doing much better with the recent downgrade in minutes and his limited role. I think he's been playing all right this season. I don't mind his play. I think he's gotten a lot of too harsh of criticism actually for what he's done lately. But still, just this whole thing is just weird. And then everything that happened in this game just let's go through it. First off, with a little over a minute in the first period left, Panic scores his first goal since sometime in October. I mean, he's been extremely stake-bitten and been struggling for a couple months here, but he actually started off the season pretty well with a good couple of games at the beginning, and then just kind of fell off the face of the cliff there. But good to see him get on the board there. You can see the relief in his face, and hopefully he kind of starts picking up his play and starts contributing more. Now, with the goal he scored, he also ended up taking a lot more shots. It seemed like his confidence got boosted, and he just it seemed like he was shooting at soccer nets for the rest of the game. Just could not hit the broadside of a barn door. But we'll save that for later. It's good to see him back on the board. Now, it was a pretty good thing that he scored when he did, a late period goal like that, and up until then this game was pretty much back and forth. Senators had some really good chances. They don't play a very offensive game, they play a very counterattack type of game, and they had some really good chances. Forsberg came up big a number of times, kept it scoreless, and then the Hawks finally breaking through at the end of the first really kind of gave them momentum and seemed to make the Senators really kind of press themselves a little bit, and it seemed to hurt them as the game went on. Obviously, the scoreboard kind of shows that. 5 minutes into the second period, Patrick Sharp just kind of surprises Anderson with a short side shot from 40, 50 feet away. I don't know what Anderson was doing. He thought Sharp was going to pass it across the ice or something and just left the post, and Sharp just almost like a no-look shot, short side, beats him. And the Hawks are up 2-0. Sharp's got 3 goals in 4 games right now. He's got the hot hand, or one of the hot hands. It's awesome to see him finally kind of getting back into scoring, and yeah, I like it a lot. Then about 3 minutes after that, Schmaltz gets the first Blackhawks power play goal of the game. Osterley with a big slap shot from the point. Big rebound off of Anderson's pads. A lot of traffic in front, but Schmaltz is right there in the slot. Sweeps home the puck through the 5-hole of Anderson. Hawks up 3-0. Schmaltz is on an absolute tear right now, and you can't say enough about what Osterley's been doing since he's been put in as a regular in this lineup. He's really the reason why Franzen was put on waivers. I mean, Osterley's taken over that role. He's got a great shot. He's getting the puck through with it, which is just a huge thing, and he's faster. Oh, and speaking of Osterley, about a minute and a half after that, Osterley with another slap shot from the point that gets through. I think there was a redirection in front. Another big rebound off of Anderson's pad. And Jonathan Toews right there stuffs home the rebound. The Hawks are up 4-0 halfway through this game. And Anderson is out of here. So the Sens switch up their goalie, trying to send a message to the rest of the team. And it seems to work because the Sens just go on a just possessed rage, offensive zone pressure, and time, and just a barrage of shots. Forsberg does a hell of a job fighting pretty much all of them off, but Blackhawks just can't find a way to clear the puck. Had a couple chances to do it, but just couldn't. And Mark Stone finally finds a way to get a puck past Forsberg, just squeaks on through. Tough break for Forsberg. He did such a great job just fighting everything off there. But the Senators score a goal shortly after switching up their goalie and cut the lead to 3 goals. Then about 3.5 minutes left in the second period. There's just kind of back and forth action. Not really a whole lot going on. The puck kind of gets thrown towards the net and it goes off Brassard's chest past Forsberg, and all of a sudden the Senators have cut the lead from 4-0 to 4-2, and this is a little scary now. I thought we had this game kind of wrapped up here. Thankfully, a minute after that, the Hawks respond on the power play. Sharp down low, gets the puck to the net. The puck is loose in front. Schmaltz, with a great show of hands, kind of curls and drags it and then shelves it into the goal to restore the 3-goal lead. Breathe a sigh of relief there, and the Hawks stymie the momentum that the Sens had built up to that point. And then with under a minute left to go in the second period, the Hawks put the game away on the power play again. Kane, with time and space, gets the puck over to Ruda in his wheelhouse, and he blows it by Mike Condon, and the Hawks are up 6-2 going into the third period. This game is over at that point. In the third period, Jonathan Toews gets his second goal of the game after a nice little play from Hinostroza, carrying it, delaying, waiting for Toews to get open on the back door, and then Toews somehow finding a way to get the puck through a jumping Sod's legs and into the top shelf part of the net. But I gotta admit, I was wrong about Hinostroza. I knew he had been dominating at the AHL level, but the AHL and NHL are just two different types of games. I thought his call-up would be temporary. It has been much better than that. He has electrified this top line with Sod and Toews, and finally it looks like the Hawks have a dangerous top line again. I am really excited to see how this line continues to grow over the course of the second half of this season. Halfway through the third period, Kane would get a goal of his own on the power play after trying to get Schmaltz the hat trick, but Schmaltz rings it off the post. Puck finds its way back to Kane, and Kane just roofs it. Says, enough with that, I'm getting a goal myself, along with 4 assists. He had 5 points in this game. Somehow 4 assists and 5 points is career highs for Patrick Kane. I don't understand how that's a thing, because although 4 assists and 5 points are spectacular amounts in a game, this is Patrick Kane we're talking about. This is this guy right here. He's one of the best players in the history of the game. You'd think he'd have those numbers by now in his 10th season. But that's not the case, apparently. Or at least not until this game. So the Hawks outshoot the Sens 43-27 in this game. They put up a snowman on the scoreboard. 4 power plays, 4 out of 6. And then hold the Senators to 0 for 4 on their power plays. And I mean, you got to say the Hawks played a great game in this one, for sure. But the Senators, my goodness, they were terrible. Like, that's just unacceptable, the way they've played and how they've fallen from Game 7, double overtime, Eastern Conference Finals, to where they are now. Yeah, if their coach isn't fired tomorrow, I don't know what it takes to fire a coach. This has got to be unacceptable. I would not be able to stand it if I were a fan of that team. Up next for the Hawks, they come back home to Chicago, come back home to the United Center, come back home to Chelsea Daggerland. Be nice to hear Chelsea Dagger 8 or 9 times. Hawks playing the Minnesota Wild, a team that just lost in overtime tonight to the Calgary Flames. Both teams will be on the back end of a back-to-back, so it's going to be interesting to see how both teams respond after their respective games tonight. Big game, Central Division game. Both teams fighting for a playoff spot. Pretty much the entire Central Division is fighting for a playoff spot. Be nice to see the Hawks extend their winning streak here. First game in a 6-game homestand for the Hawks. So be nice to start that off on a big note as well. Thanks for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the game and the team's performance down in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on Seabrook and everything else that is happening around Hawks Nation these past few days. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it very much if you do that. But most importantly, as always, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.